So this is the Zulay Magia, and it's another one of those automatic espresso machines. And I've had a chance to review a ton of different ones, actually like 5 of them. There's not a whole lot of automatic espresso ones, but this makes everything from simple lattes all the way up to shots of espresso to Americano. And it does everything from grinding your beans to fully cleaning itself. So I'm going to take you through all the features. I'm going to take you through some of the negative parts, and we're even going to make an espresso, an Americano, and a latte in just a few minutes. So let's walk through this really great machine by going over really quickly a brief overview of the features. So to start off for features, it has this removable slide here. Now this holds excess water from the cleaning mechanism and also from any drips. So this helps to keep your machine a little cleaner, and it does automatically tell you when it's full. Now you can see when you have the drip tray out, it will tell you, so you do have to have it in order to operate the machine. Now at the top here, this is one of my favorite parts. You can put your espresso cups here, but while the machine's on, this is actually a little heated pad. So this keeps your espresso cup warm, or if you have a larger cup, you could also put a larger cup on there. And that way, when you put warm coffee or warm shots of espresso, it's not changing the temperature as much. So that's a great feature on the top right away. Really nice, cute little holder. Now back here, this is where we put our coffee grinds. So you can put your fresh coffee grinds here. And then inside here, if you want to put actual grinds instead of full beans, this is where your coffee grinds will go. So just your pre-ground. So you can pick one or the other for pretty much every setting on here if you don't want to do fresh beans like I have here. Now this is your water reservoir, and this is one thing that worried me because I have a cabinet right here. So I was worried I would have to pull it all the way up. But the good part about the design on this one is it actually pulls up and comes out to the side. So this way, right, we don't have to put it in fully at the top. We can actually just plop it in, and then it locks into place. It's a pretty decent size, but we'll talk about it a little bit more later on in the video because I have some thoughts on it. But the design doesn't really restrict you if you have a cabinet up top, so don't worry about that. Now, right on the side here is where we have our storage chute. So it not only hides and holds coffee grinds, like we can see right there. It's a little hard to see with the lighting, but it has these pucks of leftover coffee grinds. And then we can actually clean out full portions of the machine by pulling out this little handle here. So this is where everything gets tamped and where everything gets processed through. So that's a very important area. And once we pull that out, you can see the brewer's automatically going to reset. Now, some models have dedicated milk frother holders, so where the milk will just kind of hook onto the side. This one just has a little milk frother mechanism with a tube. So you actually get 2 of these with it, and it kind of just hooks in at the bottom here. So we can see right on the side there, and it clicks into place. Now this tube is actually where you put your milk froth, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we actually make our drink. Now right here we have an adjustable top, so depending on the size of cup, you can adjust this so it doesn't get a lot of splash damage. Okay, let's get into customizing our drink before we get into some of the other features that I don't like or I do like. So the machine is actually simple to use. Once it boots up and it fully cleans itself on boot up, it actually has all the presets that you can move through just by tapping this arrow. Now you can see we can tap to move through, and it has 3 rows total of drinks. So you can get everything from hot water. If you just want hot milk foam, you can do that. If you just want hot milk, you can do that. Let's go through everything from a cafe macchiato. You can do double macchiatos, so 2 at the same time. Americano, which is the closest thing to a coffee. And then we have espresso, double espresso, cappuccino, etc., etc. So a lot of different choices. Now, right here at the top here, you can see those 3 beans. If we click that, that's going to change the option from grinds to beans, just like that. Look at that. Now let's go ahead and click on this 3 arrows right here, and this is where your settings menu is. And this has some very important settings. Now if we go to general settings right here, you can see we can do everything from automatic cleaning to coffee waste bin settings, where it will let you know when it's closer to being full based on how much you have in there. There's system descaling, so it'll help you to descale itself. We can clean the brewer, we can clean the milk system, we can clean a milk descale the whole system, just descale the brewer. So it's very customizable. But one of my favorite is the coffee drink customization. Now you can pick which drink you want to select here. So today we're doing 3 drinks. We're doing a cappuccino, we're doing an Americano because it's the closest thing to a coffee on here. It's just espresso and hot water. And we're doing an espresso shot all at the same time. Well, separately kind of. So let's start by selecting our cappuccino here. Now this lets us select how strong we want it. So you can do up to 9 grams of coffee, which is the preset, all the way up to 12. We're gonna set it at a 10. Now you can select the temperature. I like mine a little bit hotter to keep it warm. The liquid volume as well of coffee. You can select the amount of milk foam. So if you like a little bit more milk foam, go ahead and select it. We'll do up to 32 seconds. And then you can select the amount of time for hot milk as well. So that's just another setting. Now, if we go down here, we can do that for pretty much every drink. So same with our Americano, which I do like a little stronger, so I always set it a little bit hotter as well. If you like more water in it, that can also be fully customized. Is a little espresso. So we're gonna have our espresso cup right there. We're gonna put this down just like this. And all we do is select that espresso button and it will start to do its thing. Okay, so we got drink number 1 complete. This is a great shot of espresso. So for this next one, we're gonna do an Americano, which is the closest thing to coffee on here. It's just an espresso and hot water all in one. Let's click on it. So number 2, this is an Americano. We're gonna test this out in a second, but first, we have to make our last one, which we're gonna do, let's go back one screen here. We're gonna do a cappuccino, which is milk froth, and it's also espresso at the same time. Now, this is the part where we have to use our milk frother right here. Now, some people are not gonna like that it's not a dedicated system that's hooked up to the side. Some people are gonna love this. The reason why I like this is because I can take my milk right here, I can take it right from the jug, and I can stick this just right inside of the jug like that. Now, why this is good is because you don't have to use a separate container. You have your jug right here, you're good to go. Now we're gonna select cappuccino, and we're gonna let it make it. Now the milk froth is gonna come next, watch this. So we now have our 3rd drink made. All 3 are ready. Let's go ahead and test them. Now don't worry, we're also gonna go over the things I don't like about this machine and things you should watch out for. But first, let's try our Americano. Perfect strength, great flavor, just enough water for me because I can still add cream and sugar. Next, let's try out our little shot of espresso. It's been sitting for a second. Again, look at that nice frothy top to it. Perfect. Oh, that's strong. So I might have to turn this one down a little bit because that might be a little too strong for me, or add more water, but really good flavor for coffee lovers. And lastly, look at that cream to espresso layer there. So you can see how that milk froth is layered perfectly. Now you can also add sugar or some syrup to this, some simple syrup. It's totally up to you. Vanilla flavoring, whatever you prefer. This is just the cream espresso. Oh, so creamy and super tasty with a little bit of sugar. This would really hit. Really nice flavor to it. So really quickly, I want to talk about some of the things you want to look out for this and reasons why you might decide this isn't the one for you. So let's go over them. So reason number 1 is the milk frother. Some people aren't going to like this because you have to constantly move it in and out with either a milk jug or your own separate container. You can't just hook it on. So every time that you're going to turn the machine off, you have to get a cup of clean water and plop the frother right inside so it can suck the water up. Now, other machines have that all integrated into one system. So that's a bit of an annoyance, but not the end of the world. Now, the second reason is this tray right here. It does not hold a lot of water. And every time this machine turns off, it takes a lot of water in. Now, this tray, it kind of clicks out really weird, so it has a bit of a pull to it, and I have spilt water out of this all the time. I end up having to empty this pretty often. In fact, sometimes once to twice per day, depending on how much coffee is being drank in my house that day. So that's kind of annoying as well. The third reason is this bean hopper, which actually isn't very big. So some of the other machines do hold a lot more beans than this. This one does not. And these are also tiny beans, by the way, as well. So there are some that hold a lot more beans. This one is a little more restricted, which again takes into how many drinks you can make before you have to fill everything up again. And the last reason is inside of here, this hopper overfills So quick. Again, this is way smaller than some of the other automatic machines, which means you're having to clean it out a lot more often. Now, I also appreciate that we can take this piece out and easily clean it, but I find I need to clean the inside way more often on this machine than some of the others. Now, if you can survive those 4 things and live with it, this machine has more customization, and this huge touchscreen definitely makes it one of the better looking automatic espresso machines. I think more than the Philips and even the DeLonghi. It just has a great stylistic look to it while taking up roughly the same amount of space. Now, in terms of price, this machine does cost a little bit more when it's not on sale, so you are looking at paying a few $100s extra depending on the current price of the device. But that's everything, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right down below for more coffee, espressos, and automatic machines. See you in the next one.